Okay. Jaya Radha Madhuma Kunya Bihari Kunya Bihagute Gopidana Balaba Giribadana Kunte Janabalaba Giribadana Kunte Yasonanan Anna Rajajananjana Sonanandana Rajajana Ranjana Unatera Anachari Yamunatera Vanachari Jayo Radha Kunya Bihari Jayo Radha Kunya Bihari Janabala Ra Girivadutare Nopiyana Balaba Girivadutare Nandana Prajajana Ranjana Ramanastera Vanachare Yamunatera Vanachare Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Paravatakacharya Satana Satashi Shima His Divine Grace Savaya Charanada Bhaktivedanta Goswami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, ISKCON founder Acharya. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nantakoti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shadwaita Gadadha Shivasati Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai, Vrindavanam ki jai, Mathuranam ki jai, Jagannath Swami ki jai, Yamunamai ki jai, Shrimati Tulsi Devi ki jai, Samavita Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Gaur Premananda. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is the assembled devotees. All glory is to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Murale Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namani Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Vacharani Nivishesha Shanyavadi Pasyacha Desha Tarani. So we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto, 16th chapter, text 35. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kava Sahita Viraham Purushottamasya Premavaloka Ruchira Smita Vogu Jalpai Stairyam Samanam Aharan Madhu Manininam Ramotsavo Mama Yad Angri Vitankitaya Kuvasaheta Viraham Purushottamasya Premavaloka Ruchira Smita Valgujalpai Staryam Samam Haran Madhumandininam Romotsavo Mama Yadangri Vitankitaya Kavasaheta Viraham Purushottamasya Premavaloka Ruchira Smita Valgujalpai Staryam Samanam Makaran Madhumanininam Romotsavo Mama Yadangri Vitankitaya Kavasaheta Viraham Purushottamasya Premavaloka Ruchira Smita Valgujalpai Staryam Samanam Akaran Madhumanininam Romotsavo mama yadangri vitankitaya. Ladies? Right. Ka, who, va, either. Sahita, can tolerate. Viraham, separation. Purusha Uttamasya, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prema, loving. Avaloka, glancing. Ruchirasmita, pleasing smile. Valguljalpai, hearty appeals. Staryam, gravity. Samanam, along with passionate wrath. Aharat, conquered. Madhu, sweethearts. Manininam, women such as Satyabhama. Ruma Utsavaha, hair is standing on end out of pleasure. Mama, mine. Yat, whose. Angry, feet. Vitankitaya, imprinted with. So translation, who therefore can tolerate the pangs of separation from that supreme personality of Godhead? He could conquer the gravity and passionate wrath of his sweethearts like Satyabhama by his sweet smile of love, pleasing glance, and hearty appeals. When he traversed that is the earth's surface, I would be immersed in the dust of his lotus feet, and thus would be sumptuously covered with grass, which appeared like hairs standing on me out of pleasure. So, purport, by his divine grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. There were chances of separation between the Lord and his thousands of queens because of the Lord's being absent from his home. But as far as his connection with earth was concerned, the Lord would traverse the earth with his lotus feet, and therefore there was no chance of separation. When the Lord left the surface of the earth to return to his spiritual abode, the earth's feelings of separation were therefore more acute. Interesting. So again, the verse. Kava sahita virham purushottamacha prema valoka ruchirasmita valgo jalpai staryam samana magaran madhumani ninam aomotsavo mamayadangri vitankitaya. So Omagana Timiranda Shagaranjana Shlakaya Chakshur Unminitam Yena Tosmai Shi Gurave Namaha. So we're going to talk about some of the words in the Sanskrit here, because it's very interesting that the word mani ni nam means Satyabhama. Can anyone understand why does it mean Satyabhama and others? I mean, why doesn't it refer to other devotees? You know, what is the Sanskrit meaning of that word? Anyone know? No. I didn't think you would. So, that's the reason I'm asking. If anyone knew, it wouldn't give me the opportunity to answer that question. So, just like we talk about the different stages of prema, we were talking about that the other day, and highest stage is mana, and that stage is anger, where Radharani gets angry at Krishna. Remember we talked about that? Yeah, that's mana. And we talked about the Manasarovara, that means the lake, and that whole area of the forest around there in Vrindavan, where the trees are bowing down in emulation of Krishna. And there's a beautiful picture there in this Manasarovara, right in a little house there. There's a little beautiful picture of Krishna bowing down at Radharani's feet because she's so angry. And of course we have Jayadev Goswami in his Gita Govinda. He talks about that, but first he was thinking when he wrote that Krishna bows down at Radharani's feet, he was thinking, how could this happen? Why would Krishna bow down at his wife's feet? I mean, you never heard about that here in Fiji, someone bow down at their wife's feet. Never heard about that one. That's something else. So anyway, all right, so what happened with Jayadev Goswami? He thought, this is not possible. So therefore, he went away. He put his book down that he was writing, and he went away to take his bath. He thought, I need a bath. I need to take some prasadam because what I'm thinking of is not appropriate. So he didn't write that verse. He thought of the verse, but he didn't write the verse. So he goes and takes his bath, He thinks, well, now it's time for Prasanam. And he goes back to his home, his wife. His wife's name was Padmavati, actually. They were both pure devotees of the Lord. He's called Jayadev Goswami, even though he was married. Interesting, isn't it? Even though he's married, he's called Jayadev Goswami because he was just completely devoted to Krishna. What does Goswami mean? It means someone who can control the senses, and also one who is worshiping the original Swami with his senses. The original Swami is who? Krishna. Krishna's the real Swami. Swami means master. So anyway, so he goes back and says to his wife, Padmavati, where's Prasanam? He says, what do you mean, Prabhu or Swami? And he says, I'm hungry. I should take some Prasanam. And she says, you already ate. And he says, what? I already ate? Come on. You're teasing me. And she said, yeah, here, you already ate. I fed you. And then you sat down at your desk and you wrote some verses. I don't know what verses you wrote. Why don't you go look? And so he goes to his desk, looks at the desk, and on his desk was this verse that Krishna bows down and touches Radharani's lotus feet. And therefore, he understood that was Krishna who wrote that, who took on the form of Jayadev Goswami. So Krishna actually does that. Now, why would Krishna do that? And why would Radharani get angry at Krishna? She gets angry at Krishna, and she actually understands that Krishna enjoys the anger, because Radharani would not do anything that would be contrary to Krishna's pleasure. Krishna enjoys spicy relationships. He doesn't like dull relationships. Oh, God, who art in heaven, give us this day our daily bread, as the Christians pray. Or as we, pray, Om Jaya Jagadisha Hari Swami. Oh, of course, we don't pray that way. So, anyways, Krishna likes to be intimate with his devotees. That's why Krishna likes when you chant his primary names rather than his secondary names, right? Primary names are Krishna, Govinda, Nandanandana, Yashodanandana. Especially Krishna likes it. Especially Krishna likes it when he's actually called in relationship to his devotees. He really loves that. Nandanandana, Yashodanandana, Arjuna Saka, anyway, like that. Krishna loves that. Okay. So that's why the Mani Ninam is mentioned, because Satyabhama is a left-handed wife. So there's left-handed wives, girlfriends, and right. That doesn't mean they write with their right hand or write with their left hand. That means there's submissive ones, like Rukmini, and there's unsubmissive ones, like Satyabhama. And actually there's a particular word here for unsubmissive ladies. Let me just look it up. It's called Swadina Bhatrika. So, of course, you ladies should not act like that in relationship to your husbands. It won't be appropriate. But Swadina Bhatrika. So, anyway, the right-handed ones, they're very submissive. Like Krishna tried to make Rukmini angry. She's right-handed wife. He said to her, We spoke about this a little bit the other day. He said to her that now we understand that you married the wrong person. You get a divorce. She was already grandmother, although she looked like 16. How many ladies out there are grandmothers and they look like 16? Usually they look like 60. At least. So anyway, so she was already grandmother, and Krishna said, you married the wrong guy. Nobody knows my caste. Nobody appreciates me. This is a story from Krishna book. You have this handsome young man, Shishupal. There's still time for you. And she didn't get angry. Krishna was just like very serious when he said that. He was joking, but he was serious. So you couldn't really tell that he was serious. He was joking. And so she just like faints. Oh my God, he's going to leave me. Oh my God, I can't stand it. And Krishna had to manifest 2 extra arms just to catch her and apologize to her. And she, of course, turned it around and glorified Krishna at the end. So no anger there. Whereas you have Satyabhama. This is a story from the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Satyabhama, all right, here's to tell the whole story. Krishna was in Dwarka, and he was experiencing separation from the residents of Vrindavan. And because his experience of separation was so intense, he could not wake up. Normally, we hear about the devotees, this is technical words I'm going to use right now. Devotees are called Ashraya, and Krishna is called the Vishaya. Ashraya means they're the repositories of bhakti. Bhakti resides in the heart of the devotees. And Krishna is the focus. The Vishaya, also Vishaya means enjoyment in Sanskrit. So normally you hear like that. But sometimes the roles become reversed, where Krishna becomes the Ashraya of Bhakti for his devotees. As we mentioned many times before, Krishna is controlled by the love of his devotees, and we were just celebrating Radharani's appearance. And we know one of Radharani's transcendental qualities, she always keeps Krishna under her control. He has no independence. Although he is the most powerful person, in the Bhagavatam we find described about the absolute truth, the term swarat, which is independent. He's aptakama. He gets what he wants whenever he wants it. You understand? Aptakama means he doesn't need anyone. He just desires something. Aptakama, swarat. That's the absolute truth. The definition, the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, the definition of the absolute truth is independent and self-sufficient. Just read the first verse. And then you understand. But still, he becomes dependent on the love of his pure devotees. He's hankering for the love of his pure devotees. He's hankering for the love of those who are not pure devotees. When we go or arrive back to Godhead, or realize that we're here in the spiritual world, Krishna is just in ecstasy. He exhibits, just like you hear these symptoms of ecstasy that are being exhibited by the earth planet and the symptoms of separation. Krishna is actually experiencing separation, the same symptoms from us. That's love. And the Brihad, again making reference to the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when this devotee Gopa Kumar comes back to the spiritual world, Krishna was saying that, he fainted first of all, and all the coward boys thought, and the gopis thought that someone had poisoned Krishna. And then Balaram understood and brought him back to life. And Krishna said, I was just hoping you would come back. I was just praying that you would pray. Krishna praying? That's pretty good. Who was he going to pray to? So anyway, so I'm just hoping you would come back. And he said, I knew I couldn't violate my ordinary rules. You know, Krishna has an ordinary rule, which is don't interfere with someone's independence. You know, let them just be. But then Krishna said, I wanted you back so much, I myself appeared as your guru. Pretty good, isn't it? So of course we understand the guru is a Shaktivesh avatar. That is Krishna appearing. Prabhupada was the avatar of Krishna, Shaktivesh, the power of Krishna. That's what it means to be avatar, Shaktivesh avatar. So Krishna personally appears through his devotee, and sometimes Krishna personally comes too, and as the spiritual master. But Krishna personally appears as his devotee because he wants us back so much. I mean, it's amazing how much Krishna loves us. Yet he's feeling separation. We're not feeling separation from him. Right now, we're just thinking, you know, as soon as class is over and kirtan's over, I get to eat. You know, sometimes people are offering me Guru Puja, and I'm thinking, I hope this goes quickly so I can eat, get to my real business here. The real business I visited your house was to take prashadam. So anyway. So, but actually, a pure devotee is not feeling like that, and Krishna is not feeling like that. All a pure devotee's emotions are always intense. Tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Tivra means forceful, intense. So that's why you're hearing about all these emotions. So anyway, so getting back to the story of the Brihad Bhagavatamrita, so because it's a story about Satyabhama, that Krishna is feeling very much separation from the residents of Vrindavan. He doesn't wake up. Finally, they're able to wake him up, and they're thinking the only way that they can pacify Krishna is to take him to an imitation Vrindavan, which is called Nava Vrindavan. We told a little bit of the story about that from the Lalita Madhava Amradastami, remember? So there's another story about this Nava Vrindavan, which is actually on the opposite side of the bay from Dwarka. So anyway, so they thought, well, let's take Krishna there. They put him on the back of Garuda, take him to this Nava Vrindavan. And this Nava Vrindavan, there's all these different deities of the residents of Vrindavan who are, they're deities, replicas of the residents of Vrindavan. It's like a diorama. Okay, so they're all there. And the actual Rohini comes because she's actually in Dwarka too, in Rohini, the mother of Balaram. And so all the devotees, including the Satyabhama, they hide in the bushes and watch. There's actually another devotee who's really crazy. Her name is also Padmavati, not the wife of Jaya Goswami. She is Kamsa's mother. It's interesting. She was Kamsa's mother and married to Ugrasena. So how did Kamsa get his bad genes? Is the question. Because once upon a time, a demon named Drumila took the form of Ugrasena and made believe he was Ugrasena and had a relationship with Kamsa's mother. And as a result, Kamsa was born. So Kamsa's father is a demon, not Ugrasena. Interesting. So anyway, so she's there, but she's just like crazy. She doesn't want Krishna to experience Vrindavan because she's afraid she's going to lose his service in Dwarka. You know, selfish old lady. Sorry. So anyway, so what happens is that, all right, so they're all there watching Krishna's pastimes. And Krishna takes some food from Rohini, he sees Yashoda and Mai there. He sees Radharani there. And the deity, just deities at that particular point. And Krishna is thinking, he's back in Vrindavan, and he's thinking everyone's just so happy to see him, they're just stunned. Because that's one of the symptoms of ecstasy. So Radharani's just standing there, and Balaram is there too. I mean, the actual Balaram is there. So Balaram and Rohini are actually there. And so they have dressed Krishna as a coward boy again, because in Dwarka he never dresses as a coward boy. He dresses in his kingly outfit. So anyway, so then Krishna goes to the field with the cows and everything like that. And then they go to what he thinks is the Jamuna, but he sees it's actually enough. He says, where am I? Huh? Oh, actually, while he's there, he actually says to the residents of Vrindavan, the statues, he says, I had a dream I was a king. He says this to Radharani. I had a dream I was the king in Dwarka. Glad I woke up. It wasn't such a nice dream. This is all in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And so he goes and he sees the city of Dwarka, and he says, where am I? Hey, is this actually Vrindavan? And then he sort of comes back to his Dwarkadish consciousness. Previously he was in Krishna consciousness, and now he's in Dwarkadish consciousness, as Balaram says. Balaram says, we just took you here. This is your therapy. So even Krishna needs therapy sometimes. So, all right, so they all go back to Dwarka, and Krishna is just, relieved because he's had his psychological therapy. And then he looks around and he says, where is Satyabhama? Where is she? And they said, she's in the palace, and she's in her angry room. Because all the queens, they would have a room just to get angry in their palace. I guess it was like a padded room, like you have in a mental institution, padded cells, where they just go, the same thing in the Ramayana, we have Kaikeyi, right? Kaikeyi is like trying to get Dasarath to agree with her. He gets bewildered. So Dasarath became bewildered, and he was ready to do anything for Kaikeyi. But Krishna did not have the same response. He said to Satyabhama, get up! Satrajiti, he calls her. He doesn't even call her by her name. You notice that when you really are angry with someone, you don't use their name. You use some other relationship. Like if you're angry with your son, you'll call him in terms of your father. When you're talking to your husband, you'll say, guess what your son did today? You don't say, my son. It's not your son anymore. He's someone else's son. Or you don't call them by their name. Hey, you say, get over here. You don't say, hey, Krishna Das, how are you feeling here? You just get angry. Or you rascal. Or you idiot. You have different names for people. So, Krishna says the same thing. He says, Satrajiti. Satrajiti is in reference to her father, Satrajit. He said, just stop this nonsense. Of course, the men shouldn't try that with their wives. It doesn't work. They try that with their wives, otherwise they'll just simply start crying more and say, you'll never understand me. So, but instead, she gets up and, she's really shocked. So there's Krishna's man or anger too at his wife. Never heard, she said. But then he says, see, actually, I don't love you and I don't love any of my other queens. The only reason I got married to you was because you remind me of my girlfriends, the gopis in Vrindavan. So of course Satyabhama is an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Krishna does love her. That's not the point. But you see that bomb, or that left-handed mood, is there. And as I mentioned, it is actually so pleasing to Krishna. Because he likes to have fun. Krishna is the most fun-loving person imaginable. So actually all right, so that's one point. Let me go back to the verse. I want to refer to the verse again here. Here, why Satyabhama is called Mani Ninam. And it says Krishna was able to conquer the gravity and passionate. That's why Prabhupada actually translates this so nicely. The passionate wrath. You understand? It means loving anger of his sweethearts, like Satyabhama. And then another thing is, we're hearing so much of the description of the bhavas here. Practically all the bhavas are being described in this particular verse. So what I mean by bhavas, bhava means emotions. So the acharyas, specifically Rupa Goswami, has analyzed emotions in different ways. First analysis he gives of emotions is what's called a vibhava. And that's mentioned here in this verse. Vibhava means that which stimulates the emotions in relationship to Krishna. So, of course, to get a little more technical, he analyzes vibhava, the stimulation of love, in terms of two, which is alambana and udipana, which means Krishna or things connected to Krishna. And that's what's mentioned here. So it says he conquered the gravity of his passionate wrath, sweethearts, etc. And here, sweet smile of love, that's a vibhava. Pleasing glance is another vibhava. And hearty appeals. What does hearty appeal mean? Appeal means to just basically sometimes beg people or try to ask people for things. Hearty means, in a very enthusiastic way. So that's another vibhava. So another one here is, when he traversed my earth's surface, I would be immersed. So that's actually the lotus feet touching her, Bhumi, was a vibhava. Okay, so that's vibhava. And so, and then after vibhava, there's things called anubhava. Anubhava means like how you express when you've been stimulated in love. And things like, of course, we experience that like dancing, like when we see the deities, we're stimulated by seeing the deities, and the dancing is an anubhava. In other words, an anubhava is a voluntary expression of love. It means you can control it. That's voluntary. Like, basically, if you pray to Krishna, see Krishna, oh, you're so great, that's an anubhava. And then after that, there's called the sattvika bhava, which is also described here, that the earth was immersed in the dust of his lotus feet and sumptuously covered with grass that appeared like hair standing on. So hair standing on, and actually, that's a sattvika bhava. Yeah, that's a sattvika bhava. Sattvika bhava means the emotions that someone experienced by being in touch with the spiritual energy, which is called Vishuddha Sattva. Vishuddha Sattva means the pure mode of goodness. So when you come in contact with the pure mode of goodness, just like, for example, when I came in contact with Srila Prabhupada, I can't say I experienced Sattva. Anyway, there was emotion there. This is, of course, it was a reflection. So, so even though I may not have been conscious of Krishna at that particular time, but the spiritual Shuddha Sattva was surrounding Vishuddhasattva was surrounding Srila Prabhupada. Vishuddhasattva means pure mode of goodness. That's Sattvika Bhava. And then there's the Vyabhachari Bhava, which is sometimes called Sanchari Bhava. That's another category. Sanchari means the emotions that keep moving. That's like the anger, passionate wrath of his sweethearts. You understand? Because it keeps moving around the body. Like if you're angry, it doesn't like just stay in the brain. It just like affects your whole body. Your expression, everything tightens up in your body, right? So that passionate wrath is like that. And then the final category of bhava being mentioned here, hardly have any time, is called the sthai bhava. Sthai bhava means your constitutional emotion. So Satyabhama's constitutional emotion is the conjugal rasa, the conjugal emotion. You understand? So we all have a constitutional bhav or emotion that's connected with our rasa or taste, that's connected with the rati or relationship. So you're either in conjugal ras, friendship ras, parental ras, servitude ras. Some of you may be shanta ras. I don't know. That's not so exciting. I like the more active ones. So anyway, so that's called the sthai bhava. So you see Satyabhama's sthai bhava here, and the earth sthai bhava is being mentioned here. So, very interesting verse. Pangs of separation from the personality of Godhead. So any questions or comments? Yes?
Krishna, the scripture says that Krishna is within us, inside us. It's with us always, all the time.
Yes.
So as a devotee, is like when they are liberated, they know that Krishna is everywhere. So why do they feel separation that Krishna is not with them?
Why? Because they want to see Krishna in his original aspect of Yam Shaima Shundra Chinchaguna Swarupa. Shaima Shundra. Because Krishna is everywhere. Maya Tatamidam Sarvam Jagadavyakta Bhartina, as described in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna is everywhere in his different expansions and as his energies. But Shaima Shundara, Krishna, never leaves Vrindavan. Goloka evanivashiti akilat mahuta. You know that verse? Brahma Samhita. Goloka evanivashiti. He never leaves Vrindavan. And you want to see him? Of course, you may not want to see him. He'll stop your nonsense. You don't want to see him. It's like seeing the police. Most people don't want to see God. So anyway, so we want to see Krishna. We want to see Krishna's original aspect. Just like the gopis, they came across Lord Vishnu. That is Krishna who was manifesting as Lord Vishnu, Chaturbuj. And they weren't interested. Of course, they offer their obeisances because they're devotees. And they said to Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, sorry. They said to Lord Vishnu, just tell us where Krishna is. Which way did he go? It's like when you're trying to find something. Which way did you see him go? So instead of asking Lord Vishnu like we would, for some money or something like that. Oh, you're Lord Vishnu. Oh my God. Can I have a new car? Is Lakshmi with you? Instead, they just say, which way did he go? Which way did Krishna go? But Radharani, she can control Krishna. So Lord Vishnu, he dropped his extra 2 arms when Radharani came. Because that's how much love she has. The other gopis, they have unlimited love too, but Krishna didn't drop his head from two arms. So yes, we understand Krishna's in the heart, Krishna's everywhere, but we want to be in Vrindavan. We want to see Krishna. And also another point is that Krishna is hiding from us. Even if we are in Vrindavan, Krishna is in his aprakata, lila. Aprakata means unmanifest. He's out there doing his thing. Devotees sometimes come up with these crazy stories like, every night that Krishna dances in Seva Kunj, and you can't go there and Seva Kunj. Anyone's heard that story before? No? Because even the monkeys go away because Krishna's dancing with the gopis. Come on. Krishna doesn't do that. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's this story where everyone was thinking that Krishna is dancing on the heads of the Kaliya serpent and the lake, the Yamuna. But it was just a fisherman with a light bulb. Not light bulb. They didn't have bulbs. A lamp. So a devotee wants to see Krishna. So yeah, if we go to Vrindavan, we feel the presence of Krishna, but we don't see him. We see the deity, of course, but we don't see him. And the Goswamis in Vrindavan, they felt Krishna's presence in Vrindavan, but they didn't see him. Hey Radhe, Brajadeva Ke. Hey Nanda, Shuno, Kuta, where are you? This way they were executing their devotional service and running around Vrindavan. Anyway, they were already late, but it's all right. Just gives us more time. So the devotee knows that. But it's not Krishna's original aspect. We're only interested. Prabhupada said, showing his mood as Brajabasi, he said, we're only interested in Krishna. It's in the Gita, actually. The one purport comes out. Prabhupada said, we're only interested in Krishna in Vrindavan. So, of course, we are happy to see Krishna everywhere else, obviously. We read the whole Krishna book. But we say, Keshavadrita Narahari Rupa. When a Brajavasi sees Lord Nrsingadev, he sees Krishna doing a play, a dramatic performance, as half man, half lion. But he sees Krishna. When Lord Chaitanya saw Lord Jagannath, he saw Krishna playing a flute. That's pure devotee's vision. When we see Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar, we see Krishna acting in that way. Because there are expansions of Krishna. Eti Jansa Kalapamsa. Krishna's too. Bhagavan Swayam. So, anyway. So that's why we feel separation. We should feel separation from Krishna and Vrindavan. Yeah, Krishna's everywhere. But you don't even see Krishna, you don't even see Krishna's expansions. Do you see Lord Vishnu? No. Because you can only see Krishna, and you can only appreciate how Krishna is the deity if you have love. Do you love completely Krishna? Yes? Oh my God. You're Guru Maharaj. I should worship you, yeah. Even Lord Chaitanya said, if I loved Krishna, I wouldn't be able to live for a moment. Because just like when someone is in love in this world, they become crazy. So a pure devotee, when he actually enters into that mood, of course he has to cover it, it's just like Divyon Mada, transcendental insanity. You don't act like that. You act too insane, too sane to love Krishna. So do I. Anyway, so when was the last time you went into trance? When is the last time you became unconscious? All right, so saved. Saved by the deities. You're saved, actually. Saved from chastisement.